Thanks, Fred. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Wild Things. Well, the wedge-tailed eagle is Australia's largest living bird of prey, but it has been sometimes persecuted for supposedly killing lambs. Now, there was a bounty on their heads for quite a long time, and in WA alone, 150,000 birds were killed, either shot or poisoned. Simon Cherryman from Insight Ornithology is here today to talk to us about these magnificent birds and why they are very cool. Thanks for joining us, Simon.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Now, anyone that knows you knows you're passionate about wedge-tailed eagles. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Well, as you said, they're the largest bird of prey in Australia. They have a 2.5 metre wingspan, which is about that big. My arm span's about 2 metres. And yeah, they're a very powerful predator. They like to prey on rabbits and young kangaroos. And they live right across the country, so you can pretty much see them in a whole range of different habitats.
Wow. Now, as well as being an educator, because you do go out there and talk to schools and community groups, I know you're running up and down trees with nest boxes, all sorts of things. You're also a filmmaker. Now, apart from many, many other films, you've actually made the movie A Wedged Tail, and we've got some footage here that we're going to show. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about that movie? So the movie was made in 2010, and it was made as part of a natural history filmmaking course that I did. I co-produced the film with my friend Adam Hermans, who lives in America, and we had a few aims with the film. The film is a fictional narrative film, so it's basically a story composed of real footage, and we had a couple of aims. One, to communicate information about the wedge-tailed eagle, that they live in lots of different habitats, and a bit about their diet, and yeah, a bit about their nesting habits. But also we really wanted to emphasise biodiversity, because we're living in a biodiversity hotspot in southwest Western Australia. So we really wanted to show as much of that in the film as possible. So what are we seeing here?
So the film tells a bit of a story of me travelling to different places in southwest WA. Here you can see some ducklings coming out of a tree hollow, which was ironically one of the highlights of the year, actually. We spent 2 days in hides to get this footage. There's a shrike tit, which is a pretty rare bird. So as much as telling the story about what the film was about, we were filling the forest with all different animals that you might encounter if you're out in the WA bush.
Fantastic.
And the endemic western rosella.
Beautiful birds. We've got an amazing,
but the most conspicuous bird of the mountains is the wedge-tailed.
We do. The diversity is incredible.
There he is.
This was a bit of an exciting. Well, that was me getting ready to climb.
That's not your legs.
That's not my legs, no. I have been described as an emu before, but my feet don't look like that.
Take value in all the amazing wildlife we have.
Pink and grey galah, of course.
And there's a Carnaby's cockatoo, which are very special birds.
And the iconic black swan.
That's right, the state emblem. So.
Wow, what are you doing here?
So here I'm actually climbing an eagle nest and looking at the nest to see what prey remains are on the nest.
Wow, incredible.
So that's a way that you can study the eagle's diet, by collecting remains.
Now, speaking of study, you've been in the Murchison region of Western Australia studying these animals. What have you discovered out there?
Well, I've been doing research on eagles for quite a while, and I'm really interested in branching out into the Murchison because it's a bit of a different region. I'm actually, the specific research I'm doing for the next 12 months is working with the Department of Environment and Conservation, and we're looking at eagle diet in that arid zone. And what they're doing up there is reintroducing a whole number of native mammals which have become extinct from the area, and they're actually recolonising the landscape. And I'm looking at the eagle's diet and seeing if the eagle's actually starting to prey on their native food again, rather than rabbits and kangaroos.
Fantastic. Now, you have brought in some really interesting stuff. Can you show us just a couple of things to finish off? Wow.
I've got a couple
back scratcher, I'm assuming.
Well, it could be if your arms weren't as long as mine. But this is a kangaroo's foot. So this is a typical example of one of the prey remains you find under an eagle's nest.
Right.
So you're collecting a lot of bones at eagle nests to find out what their diet is. The other thing you find under eagle nests, and this is where it gets gross or exciting, this is an eagle...
I'm okay with holding gross.
This is a pellet. It's not poo, it's actually regurgitated like a fur ball.
Right.
And the eagles regurgitate one of these every few days, and these can actually be pulled apart and analysed to see what material is in there and give you some insight into what they've been eating.
Wow.
A really interesting thing we found up in the Murchison is a lot of the animals that are being reintroduced, the mammals, are microchipped with tiny little chips under their skin. And these, we've actually found one of those inside an eagle's pellet.
Oh my gosh,
we scanned it just like checking out a Coles, and we got and yeah, which animal that the eagles had eaten.
That's amazing. Look, Simon, you are amazing, and the work you're doing is truly amazing. It's really fantastic to see someone that's so passionate out there educating the community about wedge-tailed eagles. A definitely misunderstood bird, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, they are.
Well, good luck with your project. Thank you so much for coming on, and please keep us up to date with what's going on in your world.
Yep, no worries. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining us for Wild Things. If you'd like to learn more about insight ornithology, those wedge-tailed eagles, as Simon himself, go to our website at www.thecouch.com.au. Back to you, Fred.